I believe every pet has a certain difficulty or a certain level of responsibility that the owner must have in order to properly care for it. For bearded dragons, it's pretty average. I mean, I can do it. It's not that hard, but I don't really know where I'm going with this. So today's video, I'll be sharing to you the bearded dragon daily care guide. Not necessarily what I do, but what you would do for a normal bearded dragon, I should say. So yeah, I'm the reptile guy, stick around. Okay, so let's say you wake up 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, around that time, and if you don't have one of those timers that times the lights and turns them on at like 8 o'clock, what I would say is a good time, then you'll have to manually plug it in, of course. Hopefully you already knew that, because then your bearded dragon would probably be dead if you didn't know that. So yeah, that's probably a good thing to know. So then around 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, that's when you want to feed your bearded dragon. If your bearded dragon is an adult, you'll only feed them one time per day. So that would be 7 times per week and 365 times per year. But if they're a baby, so if they're like under a year and a half, then you'll want to feed them around 3 times per day, because they need the extra food when they're younger to grow up to be how big they are when they're older. But then when they're like 2 years, a year and a half, then you'll dial it back. So what you want to prepare your food with is just vegetables, some collard greens, kale, and then, I don't know, throw in a couple sliced up, very thin sliced up carrots, and then a cucumber, like maybe 1 slice of cucumber, I don't know, but peel the skin. Make sure to peel the skin. But you just want a variety of foods, and that is going to be the best. And obviously dust some calcium powder, vitamin powder, the usual, and I don't know, throw in a bug, and that'll be a good meal for your bearded dragon. And you can change up the bugs. Just do a day without bugs, next day do day with bugs. Just when they're older, you want less bugs. When they're younger, you want more bugs. And then you can just go from there and switch it up. It's pretty simple. When some people find out that bearded dragons are omnivorous, that kind of scares them away, because they're like, oh no, I have to feed them so much stuff. But actually it's a lot easier in my opinion, because of exactly that. They can eat so much more stuff. It's so much easier to find them food than, I don't know, leopard gecko. I mean, they're easy to find food for. But a bearded dragon, they can eat so much. It's so easy and simple to have a variety of food than, let's say, like a tortoise, I guess, because they would just eat. No, that was a bad example. End of story though. I find it pretty easy that they're omnivorous. It's not too difficult as it sounds, and if you think you can just put in a few vegetables with a bug every day or every other day, not every other day, but with a bug every other day, then you're good. Now obviously I say a bug, I don't literally mean a bug. You want to have the appropriate amount of bugs for that day to equal up what they would need. And then I also highly suggest switching out their water every day and put in some Reptile water, safe thing. Drop a few drops in, mix it up, and then it's safe water for your reptile to drink. And also switch it out every day, because it builds up parasites really fast in the enclosure. It's kind of gross. Okay, so it's around 12 o'clock and you got the food checked off, the water kind of counts as food, I guess, and your bearded dragon's overall happy. I would suggest in like the afternoon, or when you have free time, you should take your bearded dragon out and play with them for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, because I would say longer, like around an hour, but they need their heat more than a lot of other reptiles, I feel like. Like leopard geckos, you can take them out for a longer period of time than bearded dragons before they get really cold. So I take mine out for normally like 40 minutes, and then I put her back in, and she's perfectly fine. I do that like once every other day or every day if you have the time. And that's what's really gonna socialize your animal. And Ghidorah, my bearded dragon, she's really like, she does not care. She's a really good bearded dragon. And I suggest you do that just to spend time with your animal, because you got to play with, right? You could obviously just look at them too, and that's mostly all you have to do. And then 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, or when the outside sun starts setting, then that's when you want to turn off the lights, except it's kind of winter right now, so the sun sets really early. Yeah, I forget what I said. But what I do is I normally turn on the lights around 8 o'clock earlier if I wake up earlier, but not too early, obviously. And then I turn off their lights around 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock as well. And that just gives them like a 12 hours, 13, 14 hours maybe even, just to sit under the sun and to get all the nutrients they need. And that's pretty much it. Now, I also suggest you always have a backup heat bulb in case your heat bulb just doesn't turn on. It happened to me multiple times to where, like 3 times, my heat bulb just wouldn't work. So I had to quickly go buy a new one, come back, replace it. And now I always have a backup one because I always need a backup one. Because your bearded dragon needs heat. I also highly suggest you use a backup bulb, or I always highly suggest you have a backup bulb in case the bulb you have now for the heat bulb just burns out and you have one on hand. So your bearded dragon doesn't have to wait like an hour, 2 hours, an hour and a half an hour even, just to get another heat bulb replaced so they can heat up again. But keep in mind, as I'm saying this, it seems pretty easy, like, oh, this is pretty easy for daily care, but you have to do it every day. And it kind of gets tiring after a while, but it's fine. It's just owning a pet. But they live for a while, so if you get it as a baby, imagine yourself doing it for another 13 years, 14 years even. That is if you don't like sell it off or rehome it. I don't want to do that. Also, they're going to be going to the bathroom every day, so just keep that in mind. Every other day. My bearded dragon doesn't go as often as I've heard others go. That sounded weird. But yeah, keep that in mind. I just use paper towels and it works. And that's all for today. It's kind of a short video. I'll do one on leopard geckos next time, probably. I'm the Reptile Guy. Thanks for watching.